Hello and welcome. Ignore those weirdos. They're just messing around with me. But hello and welcome to another adventure with Exploring with Jason. Today we're going to be learning about the life and legacy of former Congress member Charles Dick. So if you're ready to explore and learn about Charles Dick, let's go ahead and go on an adventure as we learn the life and legacy of Charles Dick. Charles William Frederick Dick was born on November 3rd, 1858 in Akron, Ohio, to the parents of a Scottish-German immigrant. Gottlieb Dick and Magdalena von Handel Dick, who immigrated from Heidelberg, Germany. On June 30th, 1881, Dick married Carrie May Peterson, who was the daughter of Caroline, she was the daughter of Dr. James Holman Peterson and Caroline Van Evera. They had 5 children: James, Lucius, Carl, Grace, and Dorothy. Charles was a Scottish Rite Mason and an off-fellow member along with the Knight of Pythias. Charles was educated in Akron and worked at several stores and banks. In 1886, Charles was a successful Republican nominee of Summit County and Arler. He was re-elected in 1888 and also read law and was admitted to the bar in 1894. Charles also was a delegate in 1892, 1896, and 1900 of the Republican National Convention. He was elected chairman of the Ohio Republican Party in 1887 and 1891, where he served as a secretary of the Republican National Committee from 1896 to 1900. In November 1895, he joined Ohio. Or in November of 1885, he joined the Army National Guard as a private in Company B of the 8th Ohio Volunteer Regiment. He was commissioned to first lieutenant, and he served in the Spanish-American War as well as in Cuba. He as a major lieutenant colonel, and then he was a lieutenant colonel. Charles retained the rank of Major General as the head of the Ohio National Guard, which Association of the United States. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives by a special election in 1898, and which was to fill the spot that was created by the death of Stephen A. Northway, serving as the 19th District of Ohio. Charles was the chairman of the military committee, which sponsored the Military Act in 1903, which was known as the Dick Act, which basically solidified the circumstances under which the National Guard in each state could federalize and provide federal resources for equipping and training the National Guard, and required the National Guard units to organize and meet the same readiness requirement as a regular army. Charles served until 1904, having been elected to the Senate to fill a vacancy that was created by the death of Marcus A. Hanna. He served in the Senate as chairman of the Mining Committee and the Committee of the Indian Deportation. He also was the head of the Congressional Committee, which investigated hazing within the U.S. military. He served until 1911, and when he lost the bid for the second term. While in Congress, he became the largest stockholder in the Goodyear Rubber Company. He served as a vice president and member of the board of directors. He practiced law after leaving the Senate. He pursued a successful business career, which included ownership of the Franklin Square Hotel that is located in Washington, D.C., and the Chatham House, or the Chatham, which is in New York City. He ran unsuccessfully for the U.S. House in 1918, but where he lost the election to Martin L. Davey. In 1922, he was an unsuccessful candidate of the U.S. Republican for the U.S. Senate nomination, losing to Simon Fest from 1941 until his death in Akron on March 13, 1945. Charles was the oldest former U.S. Senator. Since 1988, the Ohio National Guard Association of the United States presents annually the Charles Dick Medal of Merit, which recognizes and supported the National Guard by state and federal legislation. And so what do you guys think of his story? His story is he's not well known, but he is well known in Ohio. But he is well known nevertheless. But if you like what you see and like the content of my video, please consider sharing, subscribing, sharing it with your friends and family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next adventure. with me, Exploring with Jason.